Today I'm going to walk through 5 trends in the smart home industry that were so impactful to the way 2019 went, but also in the way 2020 and beyond will go. Hello automators, thanks for tuning in again. I'm Brian from Automate Your Life, and today I'm going to take the frustration out of automation by keeping clear what was really important in 2019 so we can make the best decisions going forward in 2020 in our smart home. Number 5 is the word privacy, and we started out the year in really a Wild West fashion, except the difference between 2019 and other years was that the amount of money being spent in this industry was huge, and the amount of smart speakers and smart displays and smart cameras being sold had just increased so much that the word privacy really started to hit home, and companies like Google, Amazon, and Apple were hit specifically really hard in early to middle of the year about their privacy policies, their devices themselves, and really the industry was hammered on how they were designing devices. So what we saw happen was things like shutters on smart displays show up, the Echo Show 5 versus this second generation in the previous year. There's a big difference there, and even those policies had to be taken back almost to formula, and the settings and capabilities that were being given to consumers had to change. The fourth trend to talk about is really the rise of the small to medium size automation company or manufacturer, and Wise is the best example of this, but there are many examples in 2019, many more than any other year. And this is so important because when you look at a company like Wise, they went from a company that had a great product in the Wise camera, but now have been able to drive innovation, to drive changes in the industry with their pricing model, and also to even start to create their own standards and their own capabilities within their platform, and now start the expansion process out. But this is driving massive innovation in the industry, and it's driving a lot of new people and new ideas into the industry as well. As I walk through this list, I want you to think about what was the biggest impact to your smart home in 2019 and what will have the biggest impact going forward. And I want you to leave that down in the comments below as I develop additional series about these trends on Automate Your Life. Number 3 is the drive down to localized processing and localized capabilities, and this is such an important trend at this level with these manufacturers. Yes, this has existed in niche products, in niche markets for a while, but what's really important is we're starting to see companies like Google and Amazon recognize that this is important for reliability, overall processing capability, and what people want, that speed of the smart home that has to be there, and the real smarts behind it as well. So we've seen this drive down. We haven't seen the impacts yet in a lot of the systems that has started to show up in platforms like Samsung SmartThings, but we will see this in 2020 really start to take hold of the industry. The second biggest trend in the industry has really come out very recently with the announcement from Amazon, Google, and Apple and the ZigBee Alliance all working together to create that kind of application layer standard that will drive a lot of these products able to kind of work together in 2021 and beyond. Now, the thing that's been going on in 2019 that's been so important is the coming together that has created that scenario. And I've been talking about dot and thread and how ZigBee over IP is so important, and how using the same transceivers and really the same base protocol, that 802.15.4, all of that has been slowly coming together over 2019 and prior, but lots of the big components came together in 2019 to give us this opportunity to have the industry come together and create really what we need, which is one standard to rule them all. The biggest trend in the industry is way different than the other ones that I've been talking about so far. It's actually Amazon's dominance. They solidified something here in quarter 3, and I'm sure in quarter 4, given what I've seen already. in the smart speaker, smart displays, and lots of their smart products in general. They really solidified their position in the market, and they took full advantage of all of their capabilities and all of their best features. So they solidified their products. They created a lineup that fits almost every situation in your household, and they have created some extra features and updates that have been very quietly improving their products to a point where it's hard to ignore. And with their massive access to people on the Amazon website in general, they've been able to push so many of those products that their dominance in smart speakers and displays is probably assured for a few years. Now, if you'd like to hear more about this, a more in-depth analysis, I actually have a Patreon group full of some great people who I appreciate your support, guys. They're all there, and they get access to more in-depth videos on a monthly basis here from me. This is a great example where I've kind of gone much deeper into what happened in the industry, and at the start of the year I'll go much deeper into what's going to happen in 2020. So they have access to that. Otherwise, what I would recommend are actually two different videos here. Number one, the smart home, the state of the smart home industry in general, is a great breakdown of where we're at and where we're going. And then on top of that, if you want to learn more about this new connectivity standard that I talked about, that's up on screen as well. A great update for you there. Otherwise, guys, thanks for watching. And of course, don't hate, automate.